Well, it was a great week for us back here at home. It started with a couple of intense practices with our team, and just some skill work and some things that we had to tighten up, and just really pleased. We were I think you had two tired teams about the last 5 to 7 minutes of that game that we just played. I know that we were, and I could tell that Northwestern, just the way they were shooting the ball and stuff, they were as well. So big battles going on in the Southland right now, but very proud of our girls. We had kind of had some strange combinations together, but we got on a roll defensively with our zone there late in the second half, and just kind of played to the defensive end, kind of put a Band-Aid on our offense for a while with what we were trying to do. But very proud of this team, and very proud of just building some momentum. And we'll enjoy the off day tomorrow after this week, and look forward to trying to go do it on the road this next week.
You mentioned defense. The last two games you give up 55 and 51 points, 51 being the lowest you give it up all year long.
You know, I think part of that, Jimmy, is, and in fact, we talked about this, KK and I actually talked about this after the Incarnate Word game. We're getting to that point now that we can commit more and more to what we like to do with our zone, with our trap, just because we've got enough games under our belt now with all of our new players that they know how to make slight adjustments. And one of the things that Kaylin told me after our game last Saturday was that she and Alexis Wilson had gained a lot of confidence because we ran it so much in the game there, and I thought that showed. I thought our freshman class, especially when you think about some of the things that Dorka was able to do, and Nora Yarvakongas does a really good job in it too, but I just think our new players are starting to, it's becoming more instinctive instead of robotic as far as what we're doing, and so then there's a little more fluidity. And this week was probably last Saturday a little bit, and then this week was probably the first time that we started creating our offense out of what we were getting in our defense. And we need that, we need that in order to make a run and to be successful the way we want to. So I just think part of that's the comfort level, and hopefully we can continue with that.
Christian only took 2-3 shots in the second half. What changed from first to second for her?
Are you asking me?
Either one. Go for it, Christian.
Yeah. I had some wide open shots in the first half, and the second half, I mean, Deddy was wide open a couple times, so we were just trying to hit the open people and get some good shots down the stretch.
Was it something that the defense changed for you?
I mean, they were kind of up on me a little bit more in the second half, so maybe, but I didn't really, it wasn't like a big change for us.
They played a little more man towards the latter part of the game, and really focused on if she tried to come off a ball screen, they were trying to double that a little bit or keep her from being able to come off. And then in our zone, I think there was a spell that we rested her a little bit more in the second half also. She'd given me a lot of minutes already at that point, and we hit a groove with a group that was doing some good things defensively, and that might be part of it too. But we definitely got some better touches from our bigs in the second half against their zone, and Deddy had a very good game, and got a lot of the shots that we needed, and part of it was their full court pressure started to create a little bit of what we were getting in transition as well. And Christian, of course, was taking the ball out and in the backcourt for that.
For the first time in a while, you were able to play Sarah and Deddy without being worried about foul trouble late in the game, and you went bigger there for a while.
Yeah.
With both Ballas, Sarah, I think Taisha was in, and Christian. Yeah. What did you see that had you want to go big there for a while?
Well, and I'll say this with Carolina also. Carolina came in and just gave us some great minutes at both ends of the court. Again, she did that both times this week, and she gave us great minutes on the road last week also. I think Carolina's starting to really shine as well. But we want to play two bigs together. I'd love to play a combination of Deddy, Sarah, and Carolina together all the time, just because we've got them. We've got them and we want to use them, especially in the Southland. And playing those two kids, we were still little, in the non-conference. But now we can actually play it to our advantage. And so with that going on, it makes a difference for us rebounding. It makes a difference for us as far as having options when teams want to zone us and stuff as well. And those girls are starting to look for each other really well also. But yeah, we definitely want to do that as much as we can.
Cameron, 13 assists the last 2 games. There's a question mark on the end of that somewhere. I think in the games leading up to that, you had 20 assists all year long, and now you have 13 the last 2 games. What's changed?
Just really looking for my teammates. Most of the times I don't take very good shots, and that's because somebody else is open, and I noticed that it's a lot more easier that way too, to distribute the ball.
Is that what you want from Kalen, is to be the distributor, or?
Kalen's definitely, I don't think there was a bad shot as far as, in my opinion, what KK took today. I like KK as a scoring point guard. I think in the last game against, oh, sorry, I'm so brain dead right now. Thank you, just mental block there. But against SFA, I think they were really, she needed a different role because they put a lot of pressure on her because of being the point guard, you know, and she ended up having, 7 assists, I think, and 4 steals, and did some really neat things that way. Yeah. But on this one today, when it's more of a zone, she found her shot. Now, she was 4 for 12 from the field today. I'm okay with KK taking 12 shots a game. I mean, the ball is in her hands a lot, and especially when you're playing a zone and your point guard's at the top of it as the gatekeeper, she's going to have a lot of looks and a lot of opportunities. I think every shot that KK shoots is going to go in, and if you just go ahead and go 10 for 12 today, this would be a lot easier job. but so I do want her scoring, but I think one of the things that I loved about the SFA game is she found a different way to serve her team and to get us working, and it was a great night for her that night too.
Honest, did you think a 2-game sweep would be possible at home after what you went through last week?
Yes,
Yeah.
and that's why I'm getting gray. I mean, it's one of those, we are capable every night out, and our inconsistency is kind of our last big hurdle we really have to overcome, and so yeah, I mean, I actually made the comment, I think I probably said it to Mr. Carter when we got back after our road trip last week. I said this crew could turn around and beat these 2 teams that we've got coming in, here at home. And so I absolutely believe that. And they take the gym expecting to do that every day in the practice gym. I love to work with this group every day. Sometimes our game time outcome, it's been a little more unpredictable, but for us to start creating some consistency at this time of the year, I just couldn't be happier.
We didn't get to bring her in here, but Daddy was exceptional today. Talk about how well she did.
Her picture's right behind you there on the wall. I just think Deddy is I just see her more and more relaxed with what we're doing offensively. I think she's starting to use a lot of her, she's a very energetic young woman. And she's starting to use a lot of that on the defensive end now, and then kind of slowing the pace down offensively. And she's a great shooter. She has great hands and great touch. And I like her. My favorite place for her is 10 feet away from the basket. And these teams that are playing zones, she's starting to find that, and kind of find those little gaps where she can get her shot. So I think that's part of it. Is just, we lost her for 6 weeks at the start of the season with a broken foot, and she's kind of finding her rhythm with this group and playing with all new guards except for Christian this year too, and just finding her niche.
I know you talked a little bit about the defense, but I mean, Northwest shoots 26%, and they really never even got over that all day long. It was hard for them to put 2 consecutive buckets together, it seemed like. Just the keys for you guys defensively today.
We were trying to create our energy. When we came out at halftime, we were kind of a quiet group in the locker room, and at the last minute, we went ahead and decided that we were going to go right into our zone on the very first possession when they came out with the tip, just to create energy. And the girls really responded. Our starters, who started again in the second half, they took that on as a responsibility. And I think they just got us out of the blocks really well at the start of the second half. And that's something that we've not done well this season. So that was exciting to experience too.
We haven't won on the road yet this year, Christian, and we're going to 2 gyms that we didn't win at last year. As a senior, what do you do in these 3 days to get everybody ready to go into hostile territory and come away with a couple wins that we really need?
I think I just have to let everyone know how important it is. I mean, they know it's important. And we lost 2 on the road last week, so it's really important that we get these next 2. And I think they all know that's important, so we should get them.
Is there anything, Coach, in the road routine at all that you change, or at some point do you think it just kind of comes around and you get those wins?
I think it comes around. I saw a huge step up from our Abilene experience to our Incarnate Word experience last week. We were ready to play last Saturday, and I think that was a maturing process for us just in that 48 hours. And I think I expect us to pick up where we left off with our next road game.
Anything else?
Thank you. Appreciate you guys.